In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Post Dated Cheque module. First, click on Finance and Post Dated Cheque. Here you will see a list of your previous Post Dated Cheque entries, and if you would like to add a new entry, you can click on Add New Item over here. Once you're here, you'll have to fill in the information regarding your Post Dated Cheque entry. So first, start by selecting your branch. So let's say in my case, it's main branch. And moving on to unposted date, I'll select today. And as for the custom customer, let's say this check is given to me by XYZ Sandrian Berhad, so I'll type in their name over here and click on lookup. After that, I'll select XYZ Sandrian Berhad. And for reference number, you can type it in for future reference, but in this case, I'm going to leave it blank. And now we'll move on to the outstanding payment section. So once you've selected your customer, the system will automatically display all outstanding payments of this particular customer. Here you can select the payments that you are receiving through the checkboxes on the left. And if you would like to search for a specific invoice number, you can use the search bar up here. Now, let's say you're only being paid a partial amount of the invoice instead of the full amount. Well, you can select the invoice using the checkbox and edit your amount paid over here. So let's say I'm only paid 20 ringgit. So I'll type in 20 over here. And after you're done, you can click on Add. After that, the invoice will be moved to the payment details section over here, where you can then view the total amount to be paid in this post-dated check. If you would like to remove a payment detail entry, you can click on delete over here. Okay. And as you can see, the invoice will be returned to the outstanding payment section. Other than manually selecting your invoices, you can also let the system do it for you by entering your amount down here. So let's say I'm receiving a 40 ringgit check. After I type in 40 here, I'll click on auto. And the system will automatically calculate 40 ringgit to be deducted from the outstanding payment invoices up here. So after you're done selecting the invoices that this customer is paying off, you can proceed by entering the check number, the check date, and the account the check is going into. Once you're done filling in all the details, you can click on Save over here, and your entry will be saved. So that's it for adding a new entry. Now, what if I would like to edit the details for a particular entry? Well, I can find the Post Dated Cheque entry in this list and click on its number by the left. So once I click on it, I'll be brought to the Post Dated Cheque edit page where I can then edit their information. So once you're done editing, you can click on Save to save your changes. Or if you would like to void this Post Dated Cheque, you can click on the Void button over here. However, do keep in mind that you need to delete all payment details before voiding a particular Post Dated Cheque entry, which you can do by clicking on Delete at the Payment Details section. For now, I'll click on Save. And moving on, if you would like to post the payment of this check, you can click on Post Payment over here. Once you do so, you'll be brought to the Receive Payment Add page, where you can then add a new Receive Payment entry with the Post Dated Cheques information. To know more about the Receive Payment module, you can refer to our Receive Payment module video. So going back to the Post Dated Cheque module. Now, if you would like to search for a particular entry in this list, you can utilize the search bar down here or the search bar up here. The difference being that the search bar down here is more generic and can only search for keywords inside the list, while the search bar up here is more specific and can search for values within certain columns. So let's say I search for the keyword XYZ using the search bar down here. As you can see, the system will only return to me all entries that have XYZ in any of their columns. Now, while this is useful for quick and generic searches, what if I want to be more specific? So let's say I want to view all post-dated checks that I've voided. So I'll go to the search bar up here, and in the status column over here, I'll select Void. After that, I'll click on Search. And the system will only display to me post-dated check entries that were voided. But in my case, there's no entries that were voided, so instead I'll search for post-dated check entries that are closed, which means their payments were posted. So once I click search, as you can see, the system will display to me all post-dated check entries that had their payment posted. Now, other than using the search bar, you can also filter the entries based on column values by going to your selected column header and clicking on the funnel icon. So let's say I select these two and click on OK. The system will filter the entries based on my selection. Additionally, you can also sort the entries by ascending or descending order based on column values by clicking on the respective column header, like so. And finally, if you would like to group the entries by column value, you can also drag the selected column header to the blank space up here. So after you've done so, as you can see, the system will now be grouped based on payment date. To expand a group, all you have to do is just click on the little arrow, and to collapse it, you just click on it again. To create a subgroup, just drag the second column header to the back of the first one. As you can see, once I open this main group, you will now see an extra subgroup below it. To ungroup your entries, all you have to do is just drag the subgroup back to where they belong. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.